Let me conclude by quoting a verse from that same Viveka Chudamani of Shankaracharya. There are three types of men and women, says Shankaracharya. Deho hamityeva jadasya buddhi, dehetu jivas vidushastuham dhihi, viveka vijnana mahatmano, brahmahamityeva matis sadatmani. To the dull-witted, gross-minded person, the awareness is, I am this gross body. He doesn't know anything else. I am this gross body. When that awareness is there, they go on piling nice things on the body, dress, sense, so many things. They want to give good food to the body. They go on pandering to the body. Today's civilization is more or less the same. Everywhere eating houses, everywhere this, everywhere that. There is nothing food for the soul, only for the body, everywhere. That is Jadasya Buddhi. Gross-minded person will think, I am this body which is so palpable, I can't understand anything higher. But a little subtle-minded person will say, I am a soul hidden within this body. Under the pressure of this body, that knowledge comes to him. But the truly awakened person will say, I am that infinite Brahman, the infinite Atman, ever free, ever pure, without any conditioning from the body or the mind. That's my true nature. This is how we develop our spiritual awareness, step by step. Start from wherever you want, but seek deeper, deeper, more subtle energy resources. And when the spiritual energy comes to you, you can take all the changes and chances of life with a smile. There will be no, what you call in psychology today, trauma, when you pass through some bad experience. Whenever some bad experience comes to us, it creates a trauma in our system. And children are full of traumas today. We called it complexes in psychology, in Freudian language. Today we call it trauma. Children are full of trauma, grown-ups are full of trauma, means psychic distortion. They couldn't handle our experience. So when you don't handle the experience, what happens to you? Experience handles you. You become an object of experience. If I don't digest my food, the food starts digesting my system. That's called disease. So trauma is because of spiritual weakness. We are all spiritually weak in today's civilization. Therefore, plenty of traumas. Parents won't scold a child. If you scold, there'll be a trauma. And many people are feeling this is wrong. What is the way out? Strengthen the child spiritually. I don't know the meaning of trauma. I have received so many caning in my hand. I simply rubbed it and passed away. There is no trauma. This is because we were told that they are not this body only. There is something else. 12 cuts I got one day as a boy. I simply smiled and sat down afterwards. Nothing more happened. Today a little mild scolding is enough. I become like this and commit suicide also. What is this? Trauma. Because we live under a very shallow psychology. What is called Freudian psychology, it was known as depth psychology. Actually, it is not deep, it's very shallow. From the old psychology point of view, it was deep. What you call Watson's behavioristic psychology, but compared to that, this is little deep. But when he opened the lid to the mind, he found only muck in the human mind. That is Freudianism today. And I may quote an American writer who said, we want a new slogan today. We had an old slogan in education, spare the rod and spoil the child. In education, we always use this, what you call the rod, the K, in those days. Then came a revolution. Love alone can be the medium of education, not the rod. So we dispense with the rod in education. That's good. We dispense with one statement, one slogan. But we want a new slogan today, he said. And what is that? Just see the old language, spare the rod and spoil the child. We discarded it. Today we want spare the Freud and save the child. We want a new psychology, the divine spark in every human being. Jung was a protest against Freud. He saw something divine in every human being. He said, if there is the id that is coming to dominate my mind, there is something resisting it. The resisting principle I call spirit. That's what Jung said there. Vedanta puts it the clearest language, going deep into the system. And then comes that great truth, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. You are that infinite Atman, ever pure, ever free. All infection can affect only the body the senses and the mind. It can never affect the Atman. The Atman is never infected. The only purest part of your system is the Atman. The only unaffected part of your system is the Atman. Even the worst sinner, the Atman is ever free. That's the great language of Vedanta. Because there is that particular reality, you can easily make it manifest and overcome these infections in the body, mind, and the nervous system. That's a wonderful idea. Take that light from there and let that light blazon up the rest of the system. I was often, when you go to the bathroom, you have got the gas for heating the water. A little flame is always there. As soon as you open the tap, it becomes a flaming. So this Atman is always like a little flame. You can always make it a flame and deal with human problems in a big way. That's a teaching you have to give to every child today, because a teaching you give to a child must be such that when it grows up, it must find its truth more and more. It should not find it as a false teaching, just a grandmother's tale. It should not feel like that. Then there will be reaction. This is the only truth that will be found to be truer and truer as the child grows in understanding, intelligence, and capacity. This is the saving teaching to be given to every child. Swami Vivekananda referred to it here and said an ancient queen mother in India did this with respect to her children. As soon as a child is born, she will rock that child in the cradle, singing this wonderful song, Shuddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi, Samsara Maya Mala Vajjitosi. That mother did not say, this child, you are that Satan's product, you are born in sin. Never. You are the pure one, you are the holy one, you are free from all the taints of this worldliness. That is your true nature. That is how the mother gave suggestions of the truth of the child's nature when it is the most sensitive period, absorbent period as a child. That's the teaching our children need today, so that our beautiful angelic children, who are angels up to 12, after 12 something happens to some of them. Why should it happen? Let them continue to be angels. They are all angels up to 12. I have seen all over the world. Beautiful. That is the work of this profound message of Vedanta. The spirituality advocated in Vedanta, experienceable, verifiable in life, in action, in interhuman relations. That's the beauty of this great subject, spiritual life. Thank you all.